What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Salami Squad was happening. The meat pack in the building, a little on the block here to talk about a little NBA. That boy James Harden, son. Woo!
See it, dude. I'll tell you what, I'm feeling better than anyone in Houston right now. I had a better day than they did today.
Houston got a bunch of shit going on. James Harden out of there. Football side of things, Deshaun Watson shit going down. Who the fuck knows what's going to happen? But Houston, we got a problem. One of those problems was fixed. That boy James Harden kind of put the team on blast and whatnot, and a little press conference and whatnot, feeling disrespected. John Wall, had some words. DeMarcus Cousins had some words and said, we don't really fuck with that dude.
I mean, those are OGs in the league, dude. I mean, and those are people where it's like you just play for your team and you do the best that you can. You know what I mean? They're still kind of on the cusp of that era. So, I mean, see someone talking shit, it's like, eesh.
Yeah, guys in that 30, 31 range that have been around for like 10 years. Yeah, for sure. But a lot of shit went down with this trade. Obviously, James Harden going to the Nets. Saw a lot of other pieces get moved. We saw Victor Oladipo go to the Rockets. Karis LeVert heading over to the Pacers. A couple guys, I think Jared Allen and somebody else went over to the Cavs. To the Cavs, which is good. And but really just kind of here to talk about the I actually like Karis LeVert and Oladipo to the Rockets, respectively, for their both sides. I think those are good pieces for them. Obviously, the Rockets, too, got a bunch of draft picks, swaps. I think they got like 5 or 6 of them joints, which is crazy. And this isn't the first time Brooklyn has done this. I forgot when it was, maybe 8 years ago or something like that, when they just brand new moved to Brooklyn. They gave up like 5 years worth of first-round draft picks to send to the Celtics to get a very washed-up KG, Paul Pierce, and Jason Terry. Brooklyn thought that was going to be the move. And it didn't really pan out, and they didn't have a draft pick for years.
No.
This is obviously different, though. We're dealing with a different beast here. We're dealing with James Harden, arguably probably the greatest offensive player probably ever at this point. I mean, dude is just the best perimeter scorer we've probably ever seen. Just his arsenal of moves and whatnot he can pull off. So I'm going to look at this team as a whole. You'd obviously think, getting Harden, this is going to be a finals team. I thought without Harden, it is potentially a fine.
Kind of stacked without him. You're right.
And so one of the big concerns with this team right now is Kyrie. Is he coming back? Where is Kyrie? Dude's just been no call, no showing work. We don't know what's going on with him.
He's burning stage off in the desert right now, dude. He's just getting shit right, dude. He brought James Harden to him through some astral projection. All right, shout out Kyrie for bringing him. But I got the same question that I had when we were talking about this trade before it happened. It's like, whatever team he goes to happens to be the Nets now. Is he going to be able to play in that system and not have the ball in his hands 98% of the time?
No.
I mean, now he's on a superstar team. He's got KD as well as Kyrie if he figures out how to get back home from the desert or wherever he's at, bro. But
you got to call your employer, dude. If you're not going to show up to work, you at least need to call. How has he not called anybody? People don't know if Kyrie's coming back. Stephen A's talking about he should just retire at this point. There's a good possibility Kyrie does not come back and play basketball. Who knows what the fuck's going on with that guy? He's a little out there on him, but it's all right. Dude can ball. But that's a big point you just made. KD, obviously being one of the best players.
Generational.
Top 15 for KD. Sure. And a guy that does not need the ball in his hands. A guy that can score 40 points off 16 shots and doesn't really need the ball in his hands to create plays. Great spot up shooter, post-up player and whatnot. Then we look at Kyrie and James Harden, two guys that I think are both top 5 in usage or whatever that stat is or something of needing the ball in their hands. And so, I'm not sure how the offense is going to look when you have 3 stars like that. We look at the couple times LeBron went to Miami and then back to Cleveland. Usually when you got 3 big stars like that, one of them kind of has to take a back step, take a little back seat to the other two and play more.
And even look at what they were trying to pull off in Houston. I mean, they brought in Chris Paul and, whoever else trying to create it there for Harden, and they had the same issue. It just didn't work.
Well, yeah, and that's true. And like there's 2 things. There's 2 ways I look at this. One, superstars win championships, and they got 3 of them. So that's a good start. The only thing I don't like with this trade is the defense. Obviously, Kevin Durant is a good defender, good rim protector. Jeff Green is all right when he needs to be. But Taurean Prince and Jared Allen were elite defenders. Jared Allen obviously being maybe one of the best post defenders in the league behind Gobert, and Taurean Prince being a very good wing defender, which, you know, come those playoff runs, comes the Giannis and the Ben Simmons, you're going to need that defender to guard somebody. Because I'm just going to be 100% honest, Kyrie and James Harden, I could probably get a bucket on them if we're being honest. You know what I'm saying? They ain't really, that's a bunch of old rage going on there, and it is what it is. So yeah, I mean, my biggest concern was this. You know, I obviously think they make a playoff run, this and that. I don't know if they win a championship this year. Everything is kind of laid out to where you think that. It might take them. They have a 2-year window at this point. They have this year and next year contractually wise to get a championship, and then those guys can figure out what they want to do with their contracts, whether to disperse or keep it together. But you know, maybe not this year, but next year for sure. I just think we're sitting at this point. What's going to happen with Kyrie? And then, yeah, how did these three go together? I mean, they're going to score a shit ton of points for sure. Dudes are three of the best scorers ever, if we're being honest. And, you know, what's that defense going to look like? I really think I really do think Harden should have the ball in his hands out of these three. He should be the one bringing it up the court. But, you know, how much does that take away from Kyrie's game? But the only reason I do say that is we did see a lot of that in Cleveland. LeBron obviously having the ball in his hands and Kyrie kind of playing that off ball role. Ultimately, you know, that's not what he wanted, and that's why he kind of wanted out. So I really don't know how this works. I like Harden and Kevin Durant way more than I like Kevin Durant and Kyrie, if we're just being honest.
I mean, having those three superstars honestly just makes your team so deep. But all three of them want to start and will demand to start. You know what I mean? If, for example, it'll never happen. But imagine if Kyrie was like, "Oh, I'll just play off the bench."
Never.
Like, it would just spread everything out so well. I mean, like, the rotations that they could have would be insane. But, you know, I'm not an NBA coach.
Well, see, that's the thing. You want to talk about? I'm not going to go ahead and call them divas, but Kyrie, Harden, and Kevin Durant have kind of shown to be some little bitches before at different points in times in their careers. You know, just drama. And it was obviously very weird to see Harden, especially in that press conference, kind of act out and whatnot. You could tell that he's just whatever he had to say or do to get himself out of there. And you know, they made it happen. Houston made the call. Brooklyn made the trade happen. A lot of pieces move, and we'll see what happens with the Nets going forward. Championship, I don't know. I don't think so. It might come down to them and the Bucks, them and the Sixers, and them and the Celtics. I think they can get to the finals. I think that's a hard matchup between the Lakers and the Nets if it does happen.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know, dude. I'm so fucking hyped to see this. I'm about to run some 2K online. Catch me there. I'm about to bust some heads with the Nets. So we're going to see what happens with James Harden in Brooklyn. That being said, on the block, the Meat Pack Salami Squad, the fresh shave boy on him. Oh!
Clean.
Go fuck out of here, dude.